Going to give you a really in-depth look at what I saw this week. As I said from the outset, I am thoroughly impressed. Now, it doesn't really matter what I say. There's going to be people out there that think I'm full of shit. They're going to be like, well, you're selling the shares or you're training the horses. Of course, you're going to go on and on and on. But you get to see them. Tell me I'm wrong. I mean, I looked at 78 babies in this facility right now, and eight that I believe I should be going with full-time for the next 2 weeks before the next drone session. 8 that I believe need polished up, may need some shoeing changes or equipment changes, may need castrated. 8 horses out of 78 that I am watching right now. Those are pretty good numbers. So I'm going to roll through. I'm not going to tell you who the 8 are because it's not fair. It could be nothing. It could be something minor. And I can tell you none of them are major. So I'm just going to roll through what I saw in the training sets. And I watched the drone feed again and again. I watched it again last night before I went to bed. Just thoroughly impressed with a lot of horses at this training center right now in this barn. I'm not going to demean 2018's crew by saying we have a better group, but I can tell you we have a deep group of talented horses. And again, somebody said the other day, geez, I'm really excited. This horse looks so great. Really doesn't matter how ours look. It matters how everybody else's look. So we can just hope for the best. The horses look great so far. I'm impressed, and you should be impressed too. Just really happy with what I've seen. We're going to start with Ailsund. Ailsund, big, strong, powerful filly. I noticed in the backstretch, starting into the backstretch, she knuckled over and made a break. This filly knuckles over a lot. She got a weak set of hocks on her. We had those OCDs out. That's nothing serious. I think the only thing we have to do is make sure she doesn't get shot every 3.5 weeks. I want to make sure that we take the toes off her every 2 weeks and keep a nice short foot on her so she has no issues trotting. You know, she starts to get tired, she's going to make a miscue and knuckle over, and she has a chance of hurting herself when she does that too. So I think it's just a matter of every 2.5, 3 weeks taking a little toe off her behind, leaving a little toe on her up front. But she's got beautiful trotter and looked really good the other day. Anteros looked fantastic. Jason loves this colt. I've let Jason McGinnis go with him the last 2 times, and he's really impressed by him, as I'm impressed with him, as you should be impressed with him also. I've said it time and time again, I love this colt because he's an underdog. He's that hunchback horse, sway back. But I'm very, very impressed with Anteros and his progression thus far. Arctic Force, here's a colt that I thought needed to be gelded, and then Danny O'Brien actually stepped in and said, can we not? I really like what I see in this colt so far. And usually Danny's the first one to want to geld them. So when he said, no, leave him alone, I was happy to. This colt looked incredible the other day. I know he made a little break and rolled off. That's just stupid yearling stuff, 2-year-old stuff now. But when he was pacing, he looked great. And this colt, I thought he hit the ground pretty hard when we first started him up, but he's really starting to look fluid now and hit the ground a lot lighter, and he looks really impressive to me. So I'm really, really happy with Arctic Force thus far. Beach Boutique, another filly that has impressed me incredibly. This is a filly that looked dreadful on open house day, didn't she? She looked terrible, and then the last 2 or 3 times we went with her, she looked fantastic. She's already been in 39, but looks professional now. Really polished up well in the 2 weeks that we went with her, and really tried. And as I said, this was a filly after the open house. I wanted to go with her. We really pushed and polished and made a few little changes, and now look at her. She looks like one of the more professional fillies in the training center. That's why I need to go with them. It's not that I'm doing a better job, but I reevaluate them all the time, and there's 8 now that I want to go with, that I really want to make some changes with and see if we can't get them on the same trajectory as Beach Boutique, going from, you know, they look okay to, geez, that horse looked really good. It's quite a difference sometime, and you'd be surprised how easy it is to get from one to the other, though, especially at this stage. Just takes a little more extra work, some tutoring, if you will. So Beach Boutique looks awesome. Beach Bum BB, you can see the talent in this filly. Much like Pine Creek, this filly's very timid and very standoffish when there's aggression towards her. You got to be very easy with her. Danny's got the perfect approach with her. I knew she'd fit well down in his barn. He likes her. I love her. This is just a beautiful filly. She does everything right, and she's always wanting to learn. Very timid, very quiet, but always wanting to learn, and I love that about her. Bend Over, that interference the other day. I hit him the other day. My horse made a break, Nancy Allison, and interfered with him, and he made a break, and then he was a while getting him back gated, and then he was fine. But Bend Over does look better. I know you want to see that Beach Boutique-like progression immediately, but all these horses progress in different time frames, and Bendover is progressing. Over the last 3 weeks, he's been better and better and better. Just take your time. Bottle of Red has looked great all the time. I haven't sat behind this filly and really turned her on, but she's a little warm, gets those earplugs in her ears, and she can get a little grabby sometimes. There's no need for me to go with this filly. She does everything right so far. Both her and Brushcut are those Heston Blue Chips. We got a full of Heston Blue Chip last year with King of the Ball. He just spun out of control and got really angry the closer we got to qualifying. I don't see that from either of these two. I see them aggressive and grabby, but very controllable, and that's great. So both Bottle of Red and the horse I'm going to talk about next, Brushcut, very similar in their way about themselves on the track. Impressive looking horses. Now we got a lot of really impressive looking pacing fillies, so Bottle of Red kind of gets lost in the shuffle, but a very impressive filly in your own right. Do yourself a favor, go back and watch this filly's videos a couple of times. You'll see what I mean. She's there, and the first time I step up with her and really let her rattle, she will. But there's no need for that yet. Now is the time for teaching horses like her and Brushcut, and they're very amenable to listening to what we're asking them to do, and that is quite a difference from the King of the Ball scenario we had last year, where it was obvious he was talented, but he was completely out of control, and he never really did get better. These guys are much, much better. Cabernet, so Brushcut, same thing as Bottle of Red, looks great. Jason loves this horse. He can really pace. He's a big, powerful colt. You can see that. Another one that he can get a little grabby sometimes, so we changed his headgear. Not a big deal there. Very happy with both Bottle Red and Brushcut. Cabernet looks awesome. I told you this would happen as she started to put on that weight. She'd start to rise up the ranks, and she looks really, really good right now. Beautiful filly. Won't wear a boot or anything. Just paces beautiful. She's out of that sister to, I knew I'd do this. I was going to say that. Lead into it. Andrevet. Ha-ha. Cabernet is out of his sister, and Andrevet looks great. Canadian Titan, probably one of the most improved horses over the last 3 weeks. Another horse that just looked lost on open house day. How can you blame them? They've only been on harness 3-4 weeks. But now, after we made some significant shoeing changes, taking the hobbles back off her, she looks really good. I know she made a couple little breaks the other day. You're going to see that from her. Not a big deal. Trot's great, has her ears up now, but understands what she's supposed to do and is excelling at it. Very happy with Canadian Titan. Now a horse again, Capistrano. I haven't gone with these horses yet. We've gated them up. We kept them away from the drone the other day because I didn't want any mishaps, and I didn't know how they'd be just being gated up with the hobbles on. So we're going to start with them Monday fresh and start pushing them. Probably over the next 2 weeks before the next drone session, you'll get a real good chance to see these horses and how good they look. Capistrano is a horse I really like. I believe Capistrano is the War We Needy filly out of a sister to Mr. Feelgood. Very impressed with the way she looks on the track. Cheatin' Dixie, her knees were bothering her, saw her up in the track. They made a few little shoeing adjustments, backed off with her, worked on her knees. She looked great on the track today. No training for her, probably till next drone day. We'll put her in that slower set to start her back off, but really, really impressed with how I saw her on the track today. Classic Con. Luckily, he was on the right line a little bit, made a little break on the girl Sandra. Mario obviously gets along a little bit better with this colt, and he said, I'll go with him from now on. So, no big deal, no problem. In all fairness to Sandra, that's like the second time she ever sat behind him. Mario got to go with him every day. So, Classic Con, a lot of people are interested in this colt and like him. I like him too. Mario loves him. We gelded him and put him on the track the other day. Mario will go with him the next time, and I'm sure he will look the way everybody expects him to look. Then we have, where are we at? Classy Will. I thought he looked fantastic the other day. Really, really sharp and up in the rigging. Moved him a couple of times and finished up with the pacers that were coming a big last quarter. Classy Will's got that lazy, long gait, and he'll look better, but it will just take a little bit of time. You'll see him get incrementally better, and then I would suspect by the time qualifying day comes along, you'll see what I'm talking about. This colt will really start to put it all together. Compass Rose DC looked good. Again, Jason went with her. Said she was a little lazy, a little goofy at times, which she is, but her attitude is improving vastly every time she goes. Beautiful filly with a great attitude. I really like this filly, especially what we have into her and what we paid for her. I think she was a very good purchase. Very, very minimal $11,000 or $12,000, I think was all we gave for Compass Rose DC, and I've been very happy with this Uncle Peter filly so far. Crazy Mission, probably one of the biggest movers of the week. You guys saw him. He might have been in a slower set way at the end of the day, but when Mario let him trot, man, oh man, he really put it together, eh? I had told you I trained him in 45 like 3 weeks ago, and then he just kind of fell apart. Maybe it was a little much for him, maybe not, but I know one thing, he looked incredible the other day. Crazy Mission, probably, as I would say, probably the biggest mover of the week this week, as he trotted a great mile and finished up very, very strong. Don't Believe Me, Just Watch looked fantastic. I had mentioned it. You guys didn't get to hear me talk. Curtis had a microphone, and he was going to sync it up afterwards. I was talking during the drone, but he didn't have it live because the connection wasn't great the other day. You heard me for one set, and then he just changed the mics out. But Curtis is going away this weekend. He's away right now, and he also does the basketball games for the Canadian National League or something, whatever it is, and he just got the contract to do the games. He's doing a game tomorrow. I don't know if Curtis is gonna. This is why I don't know how we're gonna upload this. Is because I don't know if Curtis can edit them in time. So hopefully he can. But if he can't, I was saying, Don't Believe Me, Just Watch. I had made reference to him in my audio the other day about how impressed I was by the way that horse looked. I haven't sat behind him yet, other than the first day we went with him. He's starting to really look good, this colt, and really impressive. So he's watching colt. Don't Believe Me, Just Watch look great. Effusive, there's no point dwelling on the real good ones. Effusive is amongst the top tier. You know, even Disco got him to make a break the other day. Disco's Mark Isabel. He works for us. He's a trainer, not a driver, thankfully. But he goes with Effusive because he's usually push button, and he still got him to make a break. But when he got him back trotting, he looked great, and he is a nice horse. So no point wasting a lot of time buttering you guys up and you know, telling you what you already know. Effusive is a nice trotter, and we're expecting that progression all throughout the training season, right into his 2019 racing season. Emerald Miss looked good again. This is filly, quiet, just like her sister did. Just a silent killer. She's like a ninja. You don't see how good she is until you sit behind her. I sat behind her 2 weeks ago. I thought she was incredible. Jason's been going with her. He said, yeah, I went with her 2 weeks ago. She made a break on me, but was fast with her mouth and everything. She's much better. Her sister was the same way. If you grabbed them quick, they were very tender in their mouth, and they'd make breaks. I think Jason maybe was a little softer on her mouth this week, and he said she was much better. Just a really fast filly. Very happy with Emerald Miss. Enjoying my life. Another one of the ones we don't need to dwell on. She's been amongst the top all along and will stay there. Just a really talented, beautiful filly. Enduring Strength, he's very close to being castrated. I haven't brought it up with the group yet, other than a month ago when I mentioned it, but acting up on the track. He's going to need the hobbles on also. Not a big deal. I'm not worried about the hobbles. We can work with him this week. We're going to change his equipment and try and button him down this week. He's on my list of 8. But he's very fast colt. I just don't want him turning into a typical Angus Hall, and he's close. And the day he gets closer will be the day we have a very serious conversation about castration with Enduring Strength. His other brother from another mother, French Twist, is numero uno on the list. He is going to be castrated this week. First fresh, sharp scalpel that comes through the door with Dr. Chris Grosenbacher, he will be a gelding. So Enduring Strength is close to getting to that level also. Excellent Nation, I didn't realize how talented this colt was till I watched Danny cut him loose the other day. Danny had specifically asked me if he could go with him. He said, can you just leave me on this colt? I really like him, and I can see why. He got clearance and room coming out of the last turn, finishing up, and he was flying through the lane. Really nice colt to watch. A lot of talent there. Probably one of our most undervalued and undernoticed horses. Do yourself a favor and go back and watch Excellent Nation's training mile the other day on the end of the mile. Incredible burst of speed through the lane for such a young horse at a young age. Very impressive was Excellent Nation. Fox Valley Shazam, this filly's really putting it all together. You saw how she looked the other day. Very strong, very talented filly. Danny went with her the other day and really liked her. You don't like her, you just don't like horses, because she does everything right. Film Fanatic, Mario went with this colt the other day. This is a colt that's owned by David Shea, owned by one person, and his name will be changed to Giddy Up Max in the new year. But as of right now, Film Fanatic Does everything right. Looks incredible. A lot of muscle, a lot of weight, a lot of work to be put into him and put onto him, but he is up for the challenge so far and looks great. Forged in Fire, probably him and who's the other horse I mentioned? Crazy Mission, probably one of the two most impressive horses I saw that came out of nowhere over the last 2 weeks. Now, I did not get to go with Forged in Fire this week, but I went with him 2 weeks ago, and he impressed the hell out of me. This is a really, really good-looking colt out of an impeccably, strong family. This is the family of Emmy Lou Who, and Emmy Lou Who's the mother of the Breeders' Crown, aged Breeders' Crown winning trotter this year, Emoticon Hanover. So this is a direct descendant of first cousin of Emoticon Hanover. The mother of Emoticon Hanover, which is the sister of Forged in Fire, made $600,000 herself. So very, very good family, top to bottom, all three generations. And there should be no surprise that this colt looks great. But I went with him like a month ago on open house day, or before open house day. He was making breaks, and then he got sick, and we really couldn't put work into him. I went with him last week. Man, oh man, he was impressive. Ricky went with him this week. I didn't really get a chance to look at him that close. Ricky was very impressed with him, but I was incredibly impressed with him the week before. French Twist, there's a guy, lots of talent. He is a little too much like Angus Hall. He will become less of a man. The next time you see him, he will be a gelding. French Twist, fast, strong, beautiful looking colt, but he does hear his daddy's voice in his head, and I believe a castration will fix that. So French Twist, as my partner, Mr. Dyke, pointed out, I did not buy him to be a stud. I bought him to be a racehorse. So French Twist will be a gelding the next time you see him under the drone. 16 minutes, I'm going to keep rolling through them here. Frontier Cruise, incredible the other day. Ricky really moved him. He looked as powerful as I knew he would. Before, we just let him saunter along, and he looked good. He looked powerful the other day. Ricky put him in gear a couple of times. Really impressive colt. For a colt this big, to be this talented and flawless at this age, really impressive. Hits the ground light for a big horse. And you may not understand what I mean, but those big horses that slam into the ground, obviously, they're more prone to injury. This guy hits the ground like a feather. For a big horse, he just floats over the ground. Beautiful horse to watch, great gait. Very impressed with Frontier Cruise. Fusspot, I said to Jason this week, you guys saw me cut her loose. She's literally 5 seconds faster than any horse, any baby on the property right now. And I had said to Jason, just take your time. Don't cut her loose right away. Don't cut her loose right away. Just easy. Run her up the wood now. Now, Jason, like a lot of the other trainers, likes to give them room. I want our horses 1, 2, 3, 4 filed right up on top of one another. I don't want gaps in the training sets. I want them on top of each other so they learn to follow a helmet and they don't get excited when they are in that position. Horses going past them when they're right behind another horse. I want them in that manner, and that was one thing I said to Jason after. I said, don't let her gap. And she's great. I went with her the week before, and she just made everybody look silly. So I really just want to put some remedial work into her. I was so floored by how good she looked last week. What do I do with her? I don't need to go faster with her. She's going in 240. She can easily go 20 seconds faster right now, but why would I want to? And she's smart in the sets. She's doing everything. I'll put it to you this way. I don't remember a horse, a total package of a horse. If she was a bigger horse, we would have some very serious conversations about this filly. She's small. How far can she go at that size? I don't know. There's a lot of very, very good small horses in the world, and small horses beat big horses all the time. The only fault that Fusspot has right now is her size. She's not a midget, but she's small. But she does everything perfectly right now. She accelerates so fast, and you can stop her on a dime, sit on a helmet. I really did not expect to be talking about this filly in this way. I thought she was going to be stubborn, a little ornery, a little hard to deal with. She was a firecracker on leading up to open house day, and I didn't know how this would play out. Man, oh man, what a surprise. I don't remember a horse doing everything so impeccably and looking so talented as this filly does on either gate in quite a while. I obviously, Lawmaker comes to mind because he was always flawless, but he had his faults too when he was training down, and Jason always covered him up, which was great. This filly doesn't appear to have any faults. She's just really, really, really fast. So we're just going to go through the motions with her for a little while. Run her up, move her a little bit, stretch her legs sometimes. Jason stretched her out after, but I do want her in that tighter situation. And she doesn't need to sprint with these horses because they can't sprint with her. Even a horse like Miss Brampton Beast, who's incredibly fast, I don't think she wants any part of Fusspot right now either. And all these fillies, we get some really nice pacing fillies here, but Fusspot's the cream of the crop right now. Now, she's built to be the cream of the crop right now. She's smaller than everybody else. She doesn't have to pack muscle onto a big frame. She just has to do what she can do right now, and it is impressive. It is impressive to watch, and we're really just going to kill some time. I'm not going to go with Fusspot for a while. Probably Jason or somebody else will stay on her. Just sit. I want her to learn. She already knows, but I want to reinforce it in the groups, move, sit, in the groups. I don't need her cut loose because she's got some scary speed right now. I still found a way to talk about Fusspot for 2 minutes. Globe trotting, somebody said, you know, she was a little weak on the end of it. She was in against pacers. So that was the only way I could go there. I looked at all the lists. I just couldn't move anybody else around. Globe trotting went with the pacers. Very happy she did interfere and hit herself. That's going to be a problem moving forward. We're going to have to keep tinkering with her shoeing, but mentally she's strong and she wants to get right at it. So no concerns there. Lots and lots of horses hit the same way she does. And I don't think it'll be a problem if she packs some muscle onto that big frame and some weight. You'll see her widen out, and I don't think you'll see her interfere anymore. I'm not too concerned about it, and I can tell you she's not concerned about it. Very, very nice filly. She doesn't have near the amount of sheer work, the sheer work that the other horses had because she was battling the virus quite a bit. She seems to be healthy now. We got her on a steady diet of X-Stem, so she had 3 shots of it in a month, and then we come back. I believe once a month you can boost it. I don't know if it actually works, but seems to have worked with her. Very happy with what I've seen. So Globe trotting still on the top of my list. I love this filly. She's not nearly as fast as some of the other trotters just yet, but she's a big, powerful filly, and she's going to have a big engine on her. Gold Watch. This is one of the 3 that come in late, like Capistrano and Trafalgar. These horses they'll need the 2 weeks between now and the next drone session to really get gated up good and look like horses. I really like Gold Watch. This is the colt. Gold Watch is a colt by He's Watching, and looks good. So we'll see how he is over the next 2 weeks. Harness AM, as Danny put it, just a totally different horse with the hobbles on. Move, sit, fast. She's going to be a nice filly and durable. So very happy with what I've seen from her. You can easily see the difference in the way we move her and the way Danny trained her the other day under the drone. Just an incredible looking filly. She moves quick like a cat and can carry her speed at long distances. The hobbles are only going to help her. Another filly that the hobbles are definitely going to help her, my girl, Havana Ooh Na Na. This is the Guccio filly. Somebody sent me the video. Guccio himself sold to the Amish the other day for $310,000 US dollars in an Amish auction. So unfortunately, we won't have any more Guccios unless we all grow a beard and move to Pennsylvania or Indiana. But who knows? Maybe they'll still breed them. I have no idea. But Havana, no, I love this filly. She had that short-barreled, concerned gait where I said, is she going to interfere? Is she going to be able to trot? Hoo-hoo. She's got a big engine in her, this filly. She likes the hobbles, and she uses them very, very smartly. I love when horses do what she does. She's going to end up being a nice filly, I hope. I think, I pray. 6 months from now, we might be saying something different, but she's well on her way to being a very nice horse. Hometown Boys, again, one of the biggest movers of the week. I know somebody said, geez, you're whipping him an awful lot. Yeah, but I come over that, but I didn't pound. I didn't hit him. I just kind of struck him in different spots to keep him moving. He's a very lazy colt, but he was much, much better, infinitively improved from the time he arrived from the Amish. The Amish had broke him up north, and we picked him up. This is a full brother cruising in style. Couldn't be any more of a glaring opposite than this colt from his brother. His brother was skinny and hot as a firecracker. This guy's fat, and he was lazy, but he was doing it and doing it good the other day. He is interfering much like Cruz did when he was young, but I think I got the trick for him. He'll be fixed up tomorrow morning. I'd be very interested to see how he goes. He's on my list, obviously, too, but not because I'm angry at him he's improved in leaps and bounds over the last 2 weeks. Very, very happy with what I've seen from Hometown Boys. I'll Play It Alone looks great. They said, his hobbles could come in. Leave him alone. Horse got a beautiful gait. Let him stretch into his hobbles. We're not here to make it easy for them. We're here to help them become better horses. But when they got that beautiful long gait, let him work. Let him work. Let his hobbles out long and let him do some work. Now's the time to, let them face a little adversity. No, this isn't an easy game. It's not an easy life for you or me or them. It's a good life. It's not an easy life, and they got to work hard, and I'll Play It Alone. I'm going to leave his hobbles right with that. You might see a few little breaks. Trust me. Flawless gait. There'll be no issues with this guy's gait. Very beautiful horse, the way he moves. Well bred. I found a picture of his mother on the phone of me winning with her in a gold event when she was 2. She was a beautiful mare. This guy here, I haven't gone with him, so I can't really say, he reminds me of his mom. No, but he's a beautiful colt, and he does a great job doing it on the track. Very happy with him. Inland Beach, you got to see her show a little flash. I'll go with her next time, and I'll spark her up next week. Miss Brampton Beast, I don't think I need to go with her anymore. She looked like a tank the other day, a big, strong, powerhouse filly. I'll go with Inland Beach next time, and we'll start her up a little bit. Steve went with her and said, Jesus, a nice filly. She is a nice filly. Beautiful filly. Very, very strong. Very happy with her. Jailhouse Master made a little break. He's on my list, but I love this horse to death. He's got a great demeanor, great attitude. You need to be a driver, a trotting driver, I think, to go with this guy. Not that he looks to make breaks. He's an overachiever. He looks to do more every time he's on the track. Sometimes he looks to do a little too much. You ever tweak your back lifting something you know you shouldn't, but you wanted to anyway? That's what he's doing right now. He's doing more than he should be, and he's a great horse for it. I love this horse's attitude. I love everything about him, and he can fly. Just have to have everything perfect. I think he's another one. Can't let those shoes go 4.5 weeks, 3 weeks. Got to shoe him like a trotter, and he respects that. I'm going to go with Jailhouse Master for a little bit. I suspect you're going to see a vast improvement from, at least an optical improvement from the last 2 drones to the next one, because I will go with him next time. And I think you'll see what I'm talking about. Really love Jailhouse Master. I like the horse. I like his attitude. I like his work ethic. And I think he's a fast horse. He's going to improve. Knockdown, drag out. What do you want me to say? She's a creature. She does everything right. Another Sebastian K. Can really fly. Just looked really impressive the other day. And where's Johan? Ho! I skipped 2 horses. Excuse me. Johan, as we jumped over to the other Sebastian K, how good did this guy look the other day? Big, powerful colt. Not big, medium-sized, but powerful colt. Very similar to, I would say, a hybrid cross between Lawmaker and White Tiger. Lawmaker was bigger than White Tiger, but White Tiger had that kind of muscular, kind of football look to him, football player look to him, and that's how Johan is. He's not big, but he is put together strong. He's really wiry, and very, very impressed with him. And you should have been too. Made a break into the turn. I gave him an opportunity to make a break, and he did. But he's got to understand what he can and cannot do. Sometimes the best way to learn is to do it wrong, to learn how to do it right. And that's what I did with that guy the other day. I gave him every opportunity to make a break when he was coming at them full bore, and he did. He just misunderstood the math equated to going around a turn at the speed he was going. He'll get there. Wasn't quite there yet. He came right up trotting, though, and was fantastic after that. Very, very fast colt. Very impressive colt. Like him a lot. Just for me and you, another Donato Hanover. We got 3 or 4 really, really nice Donato Hanover fillies. This filly, I've gone with her a couple of times off camera, and she is incredibly impressive. She kind of looks like she's in the group, but she's not just in the group. This is a very, very fast filly. And Felix, the blacksmith, owns, I think, almost 80% of this filly. But she is really impressive. Very, very happy with what I've seen from Just For Me and You. And she looked good again the other day. Now, she was in with some Bearcats, so people might have lost her in the hustle, so to speak. Go back and watch Just For Me and You. Really, really nice filly. Knockdown, drag out. Now we'll get to knockdown, drag out. Probably her Miss Brampton Beast. Where's the other one? The big muscle mass filly. Fox Valley Shazam. Really Blue Chip we'll talk about in a minute. There's a number of really, really talented trotting fillies here. And Knockdown Dragout's probably the top of the heap right now. This filly is powerful, never gets tired. Little flighty. That's why I've been going with her and putting her in a position where she can move fast. She doesn't like letting horses go. You saw her 2 weeks ago throwing her head and acting up when they went by her. But she has to learn that this is the biggest thing. We cannot allow these horses to think they're the fastest horses around. We need them to have a little humility and understand that they are not the fastest, but they can be the best. They just need to be the smartest. And that's what these settings, these set situations will do, will allow you to move in such a manner where they can get that confidence. They can gain that confidence easily. And that's what I see from Knockdown Dragout over the last 2 weeks. A progression that I wanted to see. There's no question she's as fast as any horse on this gate, on this track, either gate. But mentally, we need her strong. She's getting better. Very impressed with this filly so far. Libero Hanover, quietly a very, very good horse. Go watch this guy's video. Go watch him go around. This is the Cantab Hall colt. Donnie goes with him. Donnie's not a driver. Not much of a trainer, I don't think, but he's not much of a driver. But he loves the horses. He does a great job taking care of them. And we let him go with the horses sometimes. And he does a great job with Libero Hanover. This is a fast colt. This is a colt that was so nasty when I broke him. The first day I proclaimed he's absolutely going to be gelded immediately. And since then, he must speak English because and know something about anatomy, because he immediately turned in from that day forward. Better, 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 better. Now he's just a sweetheart. I don't think we're going to have to geld him, at least not now for any reason. Libero Hanover, just a really, really nice horse. Very impressed with him. McPherson Thunder on my list. I said I wasn't going to tell you who's on the list. I've told you everybody so far on my list. McPherson Thunder acting up, being a goof on the track. You know, I guess he figures that he must not know what gelding is. Maybe I should put him beside Libero Hanover and he can tell him what I meant. But he may want to mind his manners over the next few months, or he may find himself in a sedated situation with the veterinarian also. But McPherson Thunder, as I said to Mario the other day, we're going to change his headgear. I don't need him quiet. I need him under control. And Mario's worried about him getting hot. You could see he was getting a little hot under the collar the other day, made quite a few breaks. But that's just him being disobedient, and I'm not going to tolerate that. So McPherson Thunder will be in the principal's office for the next 8 days, and I would suspect you'll see a completely different horse next drone session. Anyway, that's halfway through. I'm going to have 2 big lists, made it all the way through 1 big list in 32 minutes. Be right back with the second one. So the reason I chop these lists up, when I record on my phone, I can only record for 32 minutes and then it shuts off. And what happens is it flips over, and then obviously there's a disconnect. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We're going to start the second list with Marzank Hanover. This is a beautiful looking filly. Daryl Newbigging owns this filly. He bought her for himself in Harrisburg. I'd like to say I picked her out. I did not. What I did, Daryl gave me a list. We went and did videos of his horses. And the first one that fit the price range was the one we bought. Marzank Hanover, from what I can see, was a basement bargain level purchase. $9,000 I think we paid for this filly. Man, oh man, this is out of his sister to Mock It So. She has got one gorgeous gait on her. Danny likes her, said she's got a great attitude. I don't ever get to go with her, but I know one of these days we'll cut her loose and you'll see what I'm talking about. This is an impressive filly. Marzank Hanover, Mach 3, so one of the last crops of Mach 3. And an Ontario bred. So congratulations. Hopefully, I would suspect, to Daryl. By all accounts, no poles, no boots, no nothing so far. It's just a beautiful filly. Master Treaty. I would almost say the exact opposite. Master Treaty is a typical vintage master. Would rather just as soon never work. Would love to eat all day. And not really high on doing anything. But does have a nice gait. I will be going with him. He's the 9th horse, sorry. 8 horses and Master Treaty have made my list for 2 weeks from now. I'll be talking to the owner, Chad, a great client of ours, nice guy. He knows the score. And if this guy's not going to make it, or I don't like what I see over the next 2 weeks, we'll be having a different kind of conversation. But Master Treaty simply needs to do his work and do it better. He's got the ability to do it because he's a beautiful horse, but he needs to do it better. McNugget made a little break, but I watched the video. I can almost assure you 100% it was Mark Isabel's fault that she made a break. She just got a little clumsy and he was chasing her. And McNugget's smart. She can pace hard. She is a little lazy sometimes. Not a big deal. Different kind of lazy from the last guy. when you put her in gear, she's all business. And she was just a little self-conscious coming out of the turn, squaring herself up, and Mark asked her to go, and she made a little break, but she's got a really nice gait and a nice way of going. Starting to lose that weight I was concerned about. She was a bit plump before, looked like a turkey, but looks good now. McNugget, very, very happy with what I've seen from her. And Miss Brampton Beast is next. Miss Brampton Beast amongst the top of the heap. As I said, fuss pot. I don't think anybody wants any piece of fuss pot, but if anybody did, it would be Miss Brampton Beast. This filly is a powerhouse. I put her in gear a couple of times the other day. You can see, if you watch close, you can see when I chirped her or tap her on the tail, you can see her switch gears immediately. She's gone. And this, for a big filly, you can't see how big this filly is. She's going to be a big girl, and she is fast. And for all you people out there, I know we got a lot of shares floating around, and a lot of people that own a lot of shares. I can't for the life of me figure out how Miss Brampton Beast has any shares left. Yeah, the salesman in me wants to give you some pitch of how you should buy her. I'm not going to tell you nothing. You're going to watch the share prices go up. You're going to watch this filly train like a beast all year. And if you're looking for a really good Ontario bred pacing filly, you missed the boat. Or you're going to miss the boat, because Miss Brampton Beast does everything right. Doesn't wear a boot, doesn't wear a pole, and she is aggressive. She wants to get at her work, and she loves to pass horses. Everything you want to see from a horse is right here in Miss Brampton Beast. So, again, yeah, I've given you a sales pitch, I guess, but it'll be up to you. You're the people that are buying the shares of the horses, and Miss Brampton Beast shouldn't have any shares left at all. Another filly who I said similar things about last week, and boom, all the shares were gone. Miss Mischief Maker. My God, I love this filly. That's a filly that stands off a little bit, but she's not going to touch herself. Trot shots way up over her knee. She made a break on Mario, and she was going by, and she looked like she was going to try and kick at him a little bit. I said, Mario, let her work. She doesn't like to be fooling around at the back. She wants to get out and mix it up. She likes to wrestle with the horses, and not in a bad way. She just loves to do her work. And you could see, as I trotted away with Johan, watch the horse coming out of the backfield. Miss Mischief Maker, she made 2 moves, and then he got backed up in the last turn. He moved her over. She had her sights set on Johan, and she was flying down the lane. This filly can really get at it. And Miss Mischief Maker, just a beautiful filly. I like everything about her. A filly that had a slow start to her career with us was Muscle Chrome. Obviously, we bought her as a weanling, and then a lot of the clients wanted to sell her. That was a debacle. We took her down to the sale, and my fault. I made you a shitty yearling video. I was ill-equipped, and Curtis wasn't ready to do it right, and the yearling video looked terrible. She was small. She's growing now with work, but I don't think we maximized our opportunity at the sale, and my mistake might be your gain, because this filly looks great. She went from being cranky and lazy when we first started. You remember how cranky she looked and lazy? We changed her footwear. She really started to like her work. We put the hobbles on her. What a difference. If you look at how much work she did the other day and how well she did it, and then as we're pulling up, look at the work. No. Look at the work she was doing as she was pulling up, and her ears are up. She wants to get at them and keep working. She loves her work now. She's turned into a really nice filly. So, obviously, we're a long way from the races or any congratulatory notes, but you got yourself a nice filly. She's a beautiful filly. So, Muscle Chrome look great. Nancy Allison, probably one of the most stubborn horses in our barn. She'll get it. You can tell she's got a lot of talent, but she is one. If you watch the part of the video, she threw herself and flipped out the other day when she was cleared off the lead. She was just angry. She was angry because we had a snake bit in her mouth and she didn't like it. She was angry because she had a martingale on and a brain cord. I'm going to tell you one thing. She's going to do it my way or my way, and she'd want to pick one or the other real soon, because Nancy Allison has got a lot of work ahead of her this winter. If she thinks she's going to strut around here with a chip on her shoulder, she's got another thing coming. There was another horse now. I hate using this, but it is the truth, and you can go back and look at the commentaries. White Tiger had that chip on his shoulder, had that I dare you to, I'll do what I want kind of attitude. And it took a long time to polish him up. But we got there, and Nancy Allison's got that same, I don't want to swear on the video. She's got that same attitude where, go away. I'll do what I want. And she's not going to do what she wants. I'm going to be going with Nancy Allison for a while. And I guarantee you, she might have a very thick, rigid exterior, but we will get through. Whether we melt it away, polish it away, or hammer it away, we will get rid of that rigid exterior and turn her into the horse she was bred to be, she was meant to be, and she will likely be. But it will take a lot of work. She is one stubborn girl. Nancy Allison, a lot of work to be done with her, but we'll get it done. Who do we got next? Need your opinion. Hey, she won. She won the 9th set the other day. We were all talking about how good Crazy Mission looked. He didn't get by her till after the wire. And need your opinion. My girl. So the guy that went with her was literally a groom. Literally a groom. And he's just out there going with her. And I don't even know he knew what he was doing, but I forgot Colin Kelly was on 2 in that set, and Danny. It was just, that was the reason that we were so late getting the 9th set out. We didn't have a driver for Need Your Opinion. I'm embarrassed to say it, but with everything going on, we simply didn't have a driver. There was a couple of guys up top, but then the guy said he jogs her and goes with her sometimes. He goes, oh, I'll go with her. And Danny's like, all right, get your helmet on. And he went with her. He won. He won the set. He looked great. Need Your Opinion has got a great attitude, and as I told you, I've been so pleased. When Mr. Chappell sent me this horse, Matt Chappell owns this horse, and I told him, every week I tell you this story, she's going to have to sell herself. She's selling herself. She hasn't sold any shares yet, and Mr. Chappell hasn't even had to put a price on her yet, but I was impressed. She impressed the hell out of me, that filly, how good she looked the other day, and I'm so happy. Anytime you see those horses, here's a horse that's not bred that well. She's just not. But she's a good filly, and she wants to do her work, and an overachieving horse is a scary horse on the racetrack. And I'm very, very impressed with what I've seen from Need Your Opinion. Olympic Hopeful looked great again, trotting out there. She was a tiny bit under the weather the other day. She had bruised her jaw, and she was very tender in the bit. She still is. And I told Donnie that went with her, I said, show her off a little bit, sprint her along. If she starts to get tired, just pull her up and let her go back to the barn. And that's what he did. And she looked great. She's got such a beautiful gait. One of the nicest gaits of any of the horses on the training center for trotters is Olympic Hopeful. Do yourself a favor. If you haven't paid any attention to her, just go back and watch how beautiful this filly trots. She's got such a nice gait. Just a really, really nice horse. Overdue Mission, we put the hobbles on her, and Mark went with her. And this is a bad pair. I'm going to go with her. She made the list, not because she's bad. She'll get it. She'll do it right. By the time you watch this filly go in the hobbles or next time in the drone, I think you'll be very impressed with what you see. She made a break with the hobbles on the other day, but the hobbles were loose, and anyway. She'll be fine the next time she goes. Another filly that impressed the hell out of me, Path of Totality. This filly looked great. She's like a twin of Miss Mischief Maker. They look the same, move the same. She looked good. She got a little tired coming out of last term, but this is a filly that was fighting illness also. She's on that watch list that we have. Horses that are getting sick, we're going to treat them with XDem and see if we can get them under control, and this filly is on that list. So Path of Totality. Filly I'm really impressed with. Very happy. I've seen her go this week. I trained her this week. She looked great. Pine Creek. I talk all the time about Pine Creek. I use her as an example. Talked about what we're going to do with her. I'm going to go with her this week. She'll have the hobbles on. And I think the next time you've seen Pine Creek, you will see what I've been talking about. Take your time. Don't look for the lifeboats. Just relax. And you're going to see. I could be wrong. I just don't think I am. I think you're going to be thoroughly impressed with what you see from Pine Creek the next time you see her under the camera. Really Blue Chip. I haven't gone with her in a bit. We just kind of been moving her along. But you got to see Knockdown Drag Out and how impressive she looked, and where are the other ones? Fox Valley Shazam, how good she looked. I know I'm missing another filly somewhere here, a really good one. Enjoying My Life, but you haven't got to see how good Really Blue Chip looks. She's right up there amongst the tops. Very, very good filly. And does it all really good. We had a Murphy blind ahead pole. She's running in, so they come off the track the other day. I made a mistake. I misunderstood what they were saying. Said she's on a line. I said, geez, maybe she needs a bigger head pole. No, she's on the left line. She's running away from that stuff. They said, great, get it all off her then. Coming great, looking great. Just a really, really nice filly. I don't need to go there, but whoever goes there next week, I'll make sure they show her off a little bit so you guys get to see what we're talking about. Really Blue Chip is one of our best fillies in the barn. Rocking Out Loud, really, really impressed with her also. I know I keep saying really impressed, and I love this filly. Call me on it then. If you think I'm wrong or I'm full of shit or I'm feeding you lies, then call me on it. But Rocking Out Loud looked great. Mario Bergeron loves this filly. I never get to go with her. He always goes with her, and he loves her. She was good again, finished up good the other day. Another horse I didn't get to go with, but looked great. Rooney Blue Chip. Now, Rooney Blue Chip is a horse that Ricky McPhee has been going with. He went with him the last 2 weeks. He looks really nice on the track, this horse. Got a nice gait, little back in his knees, so I'm always a little concerned, but he has looked tremendous the last 2 weeks. Rose Run Valiant looked like shit the other day. I'll say it, he did. He's on my list. He's on my list because he was gonna be on my list for a while. We've just been killing time. I think he's bored, to be honest. I think he's struggling a bit because he probably wanted the hobbles on. He needed them, didn't know it, but he needed them. And that sticky track the other day was a little slippery, and he has flip-flops on, and I think he just struggled a bit and called it off for the day and mailed it in. Well, he's making his way to the principal's office this week. I would be a little surprised if you didn't watch the drones from next week, or 2 weeks from now, and said, who is that? Because I know how talented this colt is, and now it's time to start polishing a little bit. He'll be coming up, and I'll be going with him the next week and a half or so. You'll see what I'm talking about soon. Rose Run Versatile, a little bit of a cranky pants. Gotta watch my language. Going on the track today, she gave me a little tussle. But once I got her on the track, she was great. This is a filly that Amy and I own that we had bought. We haven't sold any shares of her yet, and we still have to pay for her. Rose Run Farm sent her and said, here, we bought her back. I changed my mind. If you want to buy her, have her. Virtually, I think he got keeper's remorse. He bought her, his buyer's remorse, but he owned her when she went through the ring, and he said, you know, she's worth a lot more than the 15 I bought her back for. I got to train her down, break her, train her down, then I got to give her to another trainer, pay bills on her. Maybe I'll sell her. So Amy and I own the filly right now. She's a beautiful muscle massive filly. You're going to see a filly with a beautiful gait. We had OCDs taken out of her hocks. She's only been back jogging 4 days. Real bit of a little bitchy getting to the track today, but she was fine the other day. I think it was just, you know what it was? We put polos and bell boots on her today for the first time. Sometimes the cranky ones don't like those polos and bell boots. Well, polos for sure. Those are the bandages on their hind legs. They don't like them. They feel a little crampy with them on. Maybe a little claustrophobic, and maybe that was the issue today, but she's going to wear them, so I'll be going with her for the next little while, and she'll be in the next drone set. There's some of these horses like the Capistrano and Gold Watch, and we still have some horses that will make up that group that's just behind the other horses for no other reason than they were broke late. This filly had OCDs taken out, maybe Hometown Boys, although he looked great the other day. We'll have a group of 5, 6, 7 that are just simply behind the other horses. No big deal. But Rose Run Versatile looked great. A horse that I told our clients I would go with was Sebastian Ray, and they'd sent me a message. They said, "Are you not concerned that he needs hobbles at this early stage?" And I sent them the video of White Tiger with hobbles and bandages and boots on last year. I said, "No, don't worry about it." I cut him loose the other day. You saw how talented he was. Oh, Danny and Ricky thought they were going to get me the other day. If you watch the video, Ricky is back on the front end and Danny's rolling up beside him, and I see them talking to one another. I knew what they were doing. They were trying to pin me in. So I backed Sebastian Ray out from behind the pair of them and busted them both up down the lane. Sebastian Ray can really fly. He's got a big, strong gait. For a little horse, he's got a big, strong gait, and he can fly. So I hope our clients that were wondering, how does Sebastian Ray look? I hope you got a look at him this week. He looked incredible. Sebastian Yu, it's not fair. I know he was back and made a break and blah, blah, blah. He was sick this week, this horse. You know what? I thought he was going to be a problematic horse when we got him. He's actually a nice horse. He hasn't shown it yet, but I'll work on him the next week. And now that he's healthy, we'll work on keeping him healthy. Give me 2 weeks of a healthy Sebastian Yu, and I'll show you what I'm talking about the next drone day. Sometimes things happen. He looked great the first little bit and then made a break. His bandage come down. I gave the groom an F for bandage application. His brace bandage slipped down and he made a break the other day, but looked great up until that point. Really impressed with that horse. That's the guy with the really long pastureings. When you get to see him in person, you'll know what I mean, but he looks like he's got a lot of pop to him, and he looked good the other day. Spend That Money. Wow, she looked impressive. Didn't do anything with her. Same guy went with her, same equipment, same everything. She just came out swinging the other day and looked awesome. Spend That Money was great. Horse that looked terrible was Spirit of Dio. She's on the list, so I guess I am going to tell you everybody on the list. Spirit of Dio is on the list, but I trained her here about 2 weeks ago. I thought she looked great. I think maybe just the track and circumstances, and Donnie was going with her. He doesn't have the experience that I or somebody else might have, so maybe that played a big role in that. But Spirit of Dio will be fine, and I'll go with her this week. I think, again, you're going to see a much more impressive looking horse into the next drone session. Sunshine and shade, you can see his legs. His hobbles were a little long and the track was a little icy. A couple of times Sandra was going with him. I'm probably might going to go with him his next start, but whatever. She run up on the back of a horse and he made a little break a couple of times. Not a big deal. But I think his hobbles were just a little long. No big deal. I'm not pulling his hobbles in. They're going to stay right like that for quite a while. And Sunshine and Shade, you've seen him in the past and I've talked about him before. He's a really nice colt. Just didn't have a great day the other day. Where are we at now? Susie K. Did it work well? I haven't got a chance to go with Susie K, but I thought she did her work really well the other day, and I would suspect she'll continue to improve. This is a really nice little filly. She's by Climb Higher, and I just really haven't had an opportunity or a reason to really work hard with her. She's just kind of out there doing her work and has a great attitude, and no concerns from me for Susie K for sure. A horse that impressed the hell out of me the other day, only because he was a miserable little bugger for the first month we had him, was Talking Peter. But the last 5 times we went with him, he's done nothing but look to work. Never once looked to get out of his work, which is a huge improvement. I was really worried there for a bit. This colt was pulling up and just being a brat. Just a really bad attitude, and it's completely changed. He's done a 180, looked great on the track the other day, and doing his work great. Two of a Kind Hanover, a little lazy, really needs to be sparked up and continued to work on. She's a lazy horse, but well-bred, not like any of the other Art Speaks we have, so I'm a little surprised, but she's got a lot of work to do, and we're going to be pushing on her for the next 2 weeks also to get her looking a little polished. Trafalgar, this is the last one. This is the sister to Buckingham by Dally, and she's a big filly, beautiful filly. Really interested to see how she's going to look next week. Danny and I are going to start going with. Danny actually might go away for a week or so. His mother's a little ill, I think, so Danny may not be going with them. I may have to do a little more work down in the bottom barn, which is fine. I'll be going with Trafalgar all next week. I really want to see how this filly looks. Time All Dazzle looked great. Sandra went with her, saying, wow, this is a really nice filly. On the right line a bit. No real concern. I suspect what's happening. She might be picking at herself right behind as she's switching gears, going in and out of the turns. They probably touch themselves a little bit, and then they get on the line. You would think if they're running in and they hit themselves, they'd straighten out, but they don't know enough to do that. They run in even more, and then you get an interference problem, but not a big deal with Time All Dazzle. She's due to be cut loose any time now. This is a big, powerful filly. We have 5 I've talked about right now that are as good as any fillies at this point I've seen. Time All Dazzle, Miss Mischief Maker, Knockdown Dragout, Fox Valley Shazam, Enjoying My Life. Those are 5 standouts right now, and there's other horses on here that can easily join that group. But wow. Time All Dazzle, really good. Time Al Kazam, we literally put the hobbles on Time Al Kazam 5 minutes before he went out the door to go his drone set. First time he's ever seen a hobble in his life. And he got tired in them. They were too tight. He got tired in them, but he did his work great, didn't he? He looked great. What a difference in Time Al Kazam. Really happy with this colt. We'll leave the hobbles on him for a while until he gets his feet underneath him. He's starting to tuck up, which was really a worry. I didn't want to start training a big, heavy colt down. I liked him a little more thin, and he's starting to if you've got a big, heavy horse, try and train them down as a baby, an immature 2-year-old, you're going to have soundness issues. So I was really concerned, and we're now starting to get Time Al Kazam's weight under control. Very happy with him. Yours, if you want it, looked incredible the other day. Mark Isabel went with him, moved him 2 or 3 times. Really a nice colt. Really happy with him. Utopian was sick. He was a late scratch. Really wanted to go with this guy and cut him loose. We'll get him healthy. Actually, you know what? He's been sick a couple of times. I think we're going to get him healthy and give him 3 weeks off and get over this. I think that's a proper thing to do at this juncture. But if you're looking for if you're looking for a big gym, a pacing colt, this colt's gonna catch your eye. It's just not gonna be it won't be in the next drone session because I do want to give him a couple weeks off. So Utopian, very happy. I'm very happy with him. I know the breeder's very happy with him. You're gonna be very happy with him too, but you're gonna have to take my word for it for now because he's gonna be in neutral for a couple of weeks. Watch Av. My God, he's a good-looking colt, isn't he? Big, long, strong gait to him. This is the He's Watching colt, and he's a giant, unlike any of the other He's Watchings we have. This colt is a big, strong beast. Really happy. He was really impressive the other day. Watch List, he's tiny. Little crooked guy, and wants to do his work. I'll probably train him a couple of times in the next 10 days, and then we'll make a decision with him. He's a nice little colt, but is he a stake colt? It's pretty early to be saying no or yes, but I'd lean towards no than yes, just by the way he looks, but he wants to do it. My God, he's got a great attitude. So I'll probably be talking to the breeder and see what we're going to do with him in the next month or so. Wiggle Delight, Sandra had some issues with her. She was kind of tentative. Tentative is the word, and didn't need to be. Mario again said to me after, I'll go with Wiggle from now on. She's been very, very impressive all the way along. Should really be up there with Miss Mischief Maker and the Fuss Pots and them, but didn't look like it the other day, but trust me, she is and she will be. Very, very nice filly. Will Power Fashion, old Tubby Will. He is obese. He is a big, big boy, but he did his work great. He was exhausted the other day, but he did his work really, really good. Very impressed and proud of this horse, what he's become and what he's doing. Just looks great. 2 or 3, maybe 4 moves the other day and look really good. Probably one of the surest footed horses we have in the barn. All he does is trot. No breaking in this guy. He's a beautiful, beautiful horse. And Zeb Sunshine, you guys are starting to see flashes of speed out of this guy. Ricky told me he is a beast, was his quote the other day. A beast. Did make a little bit of a break. Probably another couple of weeks behind everybody, but he's coming on quick. Looks awesome. I know that he had some unsightly hobble burns an open house day. They're all gone. They're cleaned up. The hobbles we have on him now fit him perfect. No issues there. Looks great. Looks sound. Doing his work great. Everything we want to see at a Zeb Sunshine. You're going to see something in the next month or so from him. He's going to catch your eye because he's got a flashy gait. Just got to put it all together and keep at it, and he will. Zeb Sunshine, really, really happy with him. So that's it. That's all the horses. Under an hour. 54 minutes it took me to run through them all. Good. Anyway, we're going to upload all these videos somehow and get them to you. That's all of them. That's all the babies, all the stables. Little opening video for you. We got a lot going on. I got to race Boston Glide. We're going to get the shit kicked out of us tonight, but hopefully he has a good account of himself at least. And tomorrow we got Lincoln James coming off some fantastic miles. American League's going to make a start. Who else? Be My Delights in on Monday. Better Call Mike is in on, or no, Tuesday. Better Call Mike's in on Monday. Looks great. Great look. We got a lot going on. I'm going to say we'll have another 10 or 15 horses qualified in the next 2 or 3 weeks. So that's it. That's everything. Turned into a nice day, a little above zero, so kind of a wet, shitty day right now, but the weather's really nice for January. It should be nice at Mohawk tonight, and nice for the weekend. So, I'm a proud papa again. Adeline, we almost called her Adelaide. Adeline, we were either going to call our daughter Adelaide or Adeline, I think, and I left it up to Amy. I like Adeline. Adeline Hope McDonald, our 2.9 pound Angel arrived on December 29th, 8:33 in the morning. So, quite the roller coaster we were on in 2018. I sent you guys that video last week of our highlights. Curtis did an incredible job with that. Kelly's been doing a great job also. All coming up roses so far, even in the winter here at the stable, and by the looks of what I've seen the last 2 weeks, should be a pretty fun and eventful 2019. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Drone will be back in 2.5 weeks, and I think you'll be surprised again with what you see from a lot of the horses we spoke about today. Take care.